Do you have a nose for news in your genealogy research? Fantastic, because today I'm going to show you how you can find your US ancestors in the Findmypast newspaper collection. Findmypast does have newspapers from the British archives as well as for your Irish ancestors, but did you know it also has records for your US ancestors as well? So to get to the newspaper collection, to access the US newspaper collection, click on search. Then scroll down until you see special collections, newspapers, and periodicals. Now, if you want a quick hack, I'll have a link to this page in the show notes that you can find in the description. So now what we want to do is make sure that we have the correct thing highlighted. Not the British or the Irish papers, but the US and world paper. My biggest tip when you're using newspapers is to always start broad. Newspaper reporters and publishers were notorious for using variations of names and abbreviations that are hard to try to remember. So start broad and then narrow down. So in the last name field where who is, we're going to type a surname. And then click search. Now there are over 227,000 entries for Findlay. So now we can begin narrowing things down. We can filter by state. So let's say we wanted Findlays in Georgia. Click apply filters. And now we're down to 3,000. And we can filter by publication. So maybe we want to do the Carroll County Times. And click apply filters. And there's no articles there. So you keep playing around with the different things that you want to search for. The other thing you can do is add keywords. Do you remember all those videos that I told you about how to use keyword combinations to find your ancestors? If you missed those videos, be sure to check the show notes and the links in the description for all of those tips and tricks that you're going to want to use. So let's just try married. So this one looks promising. It's from Atlanta, the marriage of George Findlay. So we know that this newspaper is from Atlanta, sunny South, September 1885. So we're going to have to zoom in and pan around to try to figure out where the article is for George. So you can use these plus and minus buttons, and you can also use your wheel on your mouse if you have one of those. So I scrolled around and moved the mouse, holding my left mouse key down and moving left and right, up and down, until I finally found the article about George Findlay, the historian of ancient Greece, and for many years correspondent for the London Times at Athens, was very romantic, and goes on to talk about his wedding. The next thing you need to do is save your articles. At the time of making this video, there isn't a direct way to save your article to the Findmypast tree, but you can download the page and save it to your computer. Now, since it's a large file, it may take a while for you to get your save to your computer pop up. You can then open this in a photo editing program. I'm just going to use Paint on my Microsoft machine in order to crop out all the details. I've saved them to my computer. I need to go back to my family tree to add in an event. So now I'm going to show you how you can save a newspaper clipping to your ancestors. And I'm going to use a different article than I used last time. I'm going to click on Eveline, and I'm going to go to her profile. And then I'm going to go to Facts and Events. I'm going to add a fact. And she was in an automobile accident. There wasn't an entry for a traffic accident. So I'm just going to create a miscellaneous event, and I'm now going to describe it. Traffic accident. After I fill out the details, I can go ahead and add a fact. And now I can add the clipping that I had. So upload a new image. I'm going to get the injury image. So now I can add the information. So again, this happened in Newark, Ohio. And I can also have a link to that image. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to add a source. And I'm going to put the web address. And then you can add all the rest of the details that you want there. And now you are keeping track of your sources. So while it is a little bit difficult to take your discoveries and get them onto the Findmypast Family Tree, you are able to research your US newspapers, save them to your computer, and then put them on whatever platform that you want. Be sure to read the terms of service just in case some of the discoveries you make are in the realm of copyright restriction. For more tips on how to get the most out of your Findmypast subscription, check this playlist right here, and to find our newest video, check that playlist right there. Oh my gosh, I was recording and I wasn't even showing anything.